Welcome back. Our conversation with Professor Tunde Samuel, looking at the whole notion and criticism of the lateness in appointments by the president. And he's explained that away in saying that personally, he doesn't even expect to see anything in that regard for the first 3 months. And here we are in the month of September, which I believe has been promised. If you've just joined us, he's explained how it's a job that has to be very, very carefully undertaken, all sorts of investigations so that you can build something on something as opposed to building it on rot. Because the presidency has explained that it's not the rot was, never mind the audience table, it was astounding. And they have to go about this whole matter systematically in order to move forward. That's we've heard. But what I'm hearing from you that interests me is that there might be something of a unified thought in how APC-controlled states will appoint their helmsmen. You know, that's an interesting idea. Is there? You said it's principally because things are much more challenging now than have ever been.
Definitely. That's what my inkling tells me. And at the center, the party may want to pick the best materials at the center.
When we talk about the best materials, of course, we're going back to this whole matter of anti-graft, people who are going to be selfless, you know, in how they go about their job, people who are not in there for what's in it for me, which is a very, very common spoils of war kind of a mentality following elections. I deserve this, I worked for the victory, I should get this. There might be a challenge, there might be a problem there, right? Especially if we now say we're going for the very best that the society has to offer. The best might not have contributed anything politically to the emergence of a particular candidate.
Well, I think I want to believe that all appointments will not be politically inclined. We still have one or two cases based on merit, and that will be based on merit. Those who have been able to establish themselves in society are very outstanding. You will have some cases like that. But principally, party nominees, those who have worked assiduously throughout the length and breadth of the Federation during the campaign, day and night, there's need for political reward. They must.
There's a need for political reward, which goes back to the idea about the appointments will be made. The whole country is my constituency, but people who didn't vote for me should not expect the same kind of, you know, comeback as those who did.
No, but that may not be.
Okay.
That may not be because take for instance South-South and Southeast, predominantly PDP. But that does not mean they will not have ministers in President Buhari's cabinet. No.
Okay.
In the interest of federal character, in the interest of peace, unity, and progress of the nation.
Okay. Okay.
We know those who voted for us, and we know those who did not vote. Southeast, South-South, predominantly PDP. But now we have a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the resources must be shared among the confederating units.
And so apprehensions from the Southeast, especially South-South and Southeast.
Is unjustified.
Okay. Because you think it's unjustified?
It's unjustified.
Benjamin from Ikeja has called in, wants to join this conversation. Good morning, Benjamin.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, I'm very grateful. This is a very lovely program. Yeah, what I want to say is that I just wish people like Buhari, our president, is watching this program. Let him hear the view of the people. You know, at times when programs like this come up, the masses will be arguing within themselves. Buhari, the president, they will be watching CNN, something out of what we are watching here. Yes, and my daddy there is making a very good point. 100 days, if we want to say we want to kill corruption, if we don't kill corruption, it will kill us. This is what you told us for 100 days. Where is it coming? And there are tapes that are showing that this is what they say. You know, they deceive us to fall into these steps. If you want to come in as a president, tell us, when I come, I will do my best. Not to tell us that you carry us on our head. You give us food every day. At the end of the day, 100 days has passed. What have we done? And let us just believe it's only God that can help us. Let nobody force Buhari, shout and jump up. It's only God that will protect, that will help Nigeria. So, Daddy, God bless you for your contribution. And then, Mr. Yori, thank you very much for your program.
You're very kind, sir. Thank you very much for being there. It's your program. It's entirely about you, just so that you can have a voice and we can hear how you feel about it. Thank you very much for calling in. Interesting point that he makes, that you know, nobody told anybody anything, and they should just let the whole thing be. Ojari. Very interesting. Okay, Prof, before we know it, time would have flown, so we'll just leave this whole matter about the polity for the time being slightly on the shelf, because I want to go to the other area, and that's the education sector. Okay. You know, recently, Prof, there was this whole news about 51 fake universities in Nigeria. Now, you're from the university system, so I'm sure you paid particular attention to that. But then the NUC, the governing body for universities, has said that, what's this whole hullabaloo about 51 universities? Those universities have been on our site those fake universities for the past, anywhere from 3 to 5 years. That it is being brought up now to seem as if, because President Buhari, whose body language everybody is watching, is in town now, they say, no, it's been there. I don't know. So I thought I'd ask you about that. That this whole idea about the fake universities, 51 of them, all sorts of funny names. Many of them will be outside, but with campus in Nigeria. The NUC says it's not a real story, that somebody manufactured it. What would be your take on that, Prof?
I can't see how fake universities can exist without the NUC not being aware, because its primary duty is to monitor,
yes,
and sanitize tertiary education, particularly the universities. And you cannot monitor by sitting down in Abuja. That was why in my inaugural lecture in 2012 in LASU, I said the TED Fund that is in charge of releasing money for the development of tertiary education in Nigeria should decentralize its operations. Because as at 2012, when I delivered my inaugural lecture, I summarized that it's having what I call meager relevance.
Okay, okay, okay.
If it's really interested in having real relevance, it has to decentralize. Many scholars and researchers will have to travel from length and breadth of the Federation to Abuja to collect grants, to travel to the US, to China, to Japan, to present papers. Over 70%, I'm saying this on authority, may not even get the money before they travel out to deliver those papers. Because they are looking for upward mobility in their career. They will look for money. And when they come back, they'll start chasing the money. Is either you publish or perish in the university.
I beg your pardon, Prof. George has been holding on for upwards of 2.5, 3 minutes now. George, are you still there?
I'm here, okay. Good morning.
I'm so sorry. I apologize, but I had to let the professor land. Good morning, and thank you for calling in.
Thank you. So since I was delayed, you will please give me extra time.
Okay, George.
Yes. Seriously, those who are campaigning about 100 days, I want to ask this question. Was Buhari elected to govern us for 100 days or for 4 years? Even if you were to talk about 100 days, anybody, even a blind person, can see that there has been a change on the ground. In my house and in my office, I have no generator for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
And before, I used to spend an average of 5,000 naira to fuel the generators in a day. The former Minister of Petroleum told us that we were going to import fuel for the next 20 years, that there is no hope for refineries to work. Today, refineries are working.
Yes.
Call your relation in diaspora and ask them, how do they feel and how are they now treated in those countries? They will tell you they are now proud to be identified or recognized as Nigerians. I don't know what else we want in this country. People are free to criticize, but let criticism not distract our president.
Okay.
This is what I keep saying. Look at the other sectors. NNPC, we were told that nothing can ever be done there. But today, you can see things are being experienced. Security. Nobody ever cared when Boko Haram was taking 2 or 3 towns every day. Our president has been to several countries around us and outside West Africa. And he has built confidence. And we are seeing the results. And people are talking. Now I can see that, Uncle Yori, that people who have been saying no ministers, they weren't asking or they weren't protesting because they want to govern. It is because they want to, it's business people or politicians. Who is there? Is he my friend? What can I get from him? How can I use him to get? That is what I can see now. Governance is not the objective. Sorry, thank you.
Thank you very much, and again, apologize for holding you up all that while, but I did make up for it. We had this deal. You had extra time. Thank you for calling in, George. He makes the point that it's not an account of governance. Is his perspective, and I've heard that perspective from a lot of other people. Yeah. But it's people who have something to gain from it that really are shouting the loudest about this so-called delay.
Those who don't mean well for the president.
Well, it's either they don't mean well for him or they mean well for themselves, their own selves. And if my man is not there, then how am I going to interconnect? I suppose there's a lot of that. Well, it works because the way it's working against some, the word against in quotes, because that's the way they see it. If I don't have a man in there, then I'm cut off from the lifeline, the Naira lifeline from Abuja and all of that.
Okay.
But on the other hand, too, those the people are in there. I suppose this is where there's something of a clutch. One has to be very careful because Buhari has indicated that it's not going to be business as usual in the way we carry on our affairs.
And we are seeing that already.
Okay. We are beginning to see that.
Of course.
The other point that you made that, look, Buhari is his own man. It's one thing to submit recommendations to him. He will take the final decision.
Of course.
And quite frankly, people are a bit concerned about General Buhari, President Buhari, well, he's general, but also President Buhari in the sense that you never know, you can hardly predict or tell where he's going to go. Even though he means the best, he wishes Nigeria well, and he means the best for Nigeria, but he still is his own man, and he's going to go the way he feels is right, even though he is a party man, and he said from very day one that party is supreme. So yeah, he'll be respecting the party, but even within there still is room for him to, express himself.
Party supremacy will not stop him from national cleansing. It will not.
Okay, okay. Jude from Ikeja is also on the line. Good morning, Jude.
Good morning, Yori. Yeah, thank you very much. I want to know that 100 days is a time of transition government all over the world.
Yes.
Whether in Nigeria, in the US, or in Britain. Yeah, I agree with the last caller. We don't have to judge Buhari negatively. But it's also correcting himself by telling that Buhari has established a refinery and the people working within 3 months, and Boko Haram has been put in check within 3 months. It's not contradictory. And we have to look at this in perspective. The hope is that the infrastructure was established by Jonathan government. And thank God they are doing this state now. I want us not to make one mistake. Let us matter President Buhari. Let him not think that Nigerians are fools. Let us breaking to work. Everybody's passing faith. He's not saying that all over the world, people are discussing because what has he done? For now, we hope he'll do something. But I may take the exception from the professor who said that from the southeast, their own is coming. In the land of Okikiwe, who established Nigeria in the first place, their own is coming. And we are waiting out of a fair appointment. And they take the share. Ministerial appointments are right by the Constitution to every state in Nigeria. It's not a privilege, it's a right. So I want us to let us talk holistically and for justice, so it can, at the end of it all, we shall all benefit from it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jude, for calling in. He talks about a right and not being a privilege.
Well, I said it, that all geopolitical zones will be taken care of in the cabinet. But when it comes to the kitchen cabinet, Yori, I want to reiterate for the umpteenth time that it is the sole responsibility of Mr. President to determine who will be his closest lieutenants.
And people can't really choose that for him.
You can't, because the chief of staff, for instance, will be the first person to see him in the morning and the last person to leave him his house in the evening.
Okay. Liberty, Mr., Miss, Mrs., I'm not sure. Liberty, good morning, from Ogba.
Yeah, morning, sir.
It sounds like a mister.
Yes. The question I want to ask those people complaining is that, why are they concentrating on the federal government alone? What about the state government? What have they done for 100 days too? Let them go out the PDP states. All those PDP governors. What have they done for the 100 days? Why is you Buhari every time? They want to kill this man. What's the problem? Okay, all those PDP states too. Let them come out what they've done for 100 days. Even the APC state too. Things are so bad. Everybody is planning. Any government that knows he has a good vision for this country must plan properly before they act. Even in Lagos. What's happening? He's just planning. And if he doesn't plan well, he will fail. So I don't really know what they want. See, they want us to go back to the old way of doing things. Yes. They'll be running after 100 days. They will go and 20 boreholes in some area, one block of classroom, inflated contracts, and they will not go and build one big house, rent equipment of hospitals, put it there. They will go and rent equipment. They won't buy it, or they will rent it and put it there. I know what I'm talking about. They will rent equipment, put it there. Government will come there, commission it. They say 100 days. After the 100 days, they will go and remove all the equipment, go there, won't sell anything again. They will steal all the money. That's what they want Buhari to do. They fail. We voted for change, and change must stay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Liberty, for calling in. Well, that's what oppositions do. We spoke about that at the top of the program, if you remember. That's what oppositions do. And, in this case, the PDP, as you've asked, so what exactly has been going on in PDP circles in their states? You know, there are those who will say precious little, but they are not the news. It's APC that's the news, because APC is sitting in the ruling party's chair. And I suppose you can't expect that there will be all sorts of applause. Professor even went further than that and said they don't wish them well. Well, as nationalists, hopefully they'll deny that and say that there's nothing personal. It's because of our beloved country that we're doing all of this. But the point is being made there that again, forget all of this. And that's what the people that are calling into our station, and not just on this program, on other programs as well, are saying that, can you just leave them? It's their right. It's their right to criticize. But there's the notion, there's the thought, especially when you look at even the social media, that the supporters, and they have every right to be supporters of the opposition, have not quite grasped the idea that the election's over. It's over. It's been 3 months now. The election has been over. The president has taken over. And can we just all get along with the job at hand? That's the way some people will see it. But it would appear that the opposition is saying that, look, in as much as it's within our right and there's freedom of speech, we will continue to. So I suppose it's up to the polity, it's up to the people to sort of know how to sift these matters, as we are seeing from callers who are calling in.
I just want to appeal to armchair critics
Again, let me quickly go to Pa Johnson from Agege.
Okay.
Pa Johnson is one of our most regular callers. He's a 77-year-old gentleman. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Oga Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Well, Sam, I congratulate you and I thank you for your statement over there. You see, those who are crying for 100 days, I've never seen any government who has performed within 100 days to the suffering of the public. Well, I want to make them realize that these 100 days, there were so many changes. One, at the refinery that are not working. Body language has made them to work.
Yes, yes, yes.
Electricity. Those who have been talking of a privatization, the embezzles money, body language has turned them to reality. There are so many things within these 100 days. But people will never see it because they are the wrong type of people in this country. They will never see good things. Change.
Did we lose Mr. Johnson? Well, we lost Mr. Johnson. I don't know,
Yes.
but we got your drift.
Yes,
But see if you can get in again, and maybe in the few minutes we have left, we'll be able to squeeze you in. But you know, what he would, the line of reasoning he seemed to be on is that you can conveniently edit out all of that and just concentrate on the job at hand.
Yes.
Because there have been returns. I think economists talk about visible and invisible, you know,
Rate of returns.
And I suppose, quite frankly, if anybody's going to be fair, you can't say things have not changed. You can't say things are still the same as before Buhari came in. But that's not. It's not the prerogative of the opposition to be saying that, and we have to understand that it's not their job. You can understand it, surely.
Yeah, all we need
in a democracy.
Yes, I can understand, and I want to spare them. The only thing I want to add is that I want to appeal to armchair critics and paid provocateurs to leave Buhari alone. Let him do his work.
Even if they don't, it doesn't look as if the man is even paying them any attention. It looks like the man has just got his head down and is doing the work.
He's
and
solidly
he will come
calm.
out, yes,
Solidly
and he will
calm.
come out and will let us know how we're going to go from now on. But everybody knows that we have to have a cabinet. I think September was mentioned that. So in this month of September, here we are, the second day of September. We can look forward to seeing something before the month is out.
Yeah, well, there will be changes. I am confident.
And I hope when these changes come, because you also, you know, tantalizingly gave us a tease of an idea about a sort of a unified plan across, you know, APC states. We'll see how that works out.
Oh, it will.
Because it will be interesting to see.
It will, it will.
And it will be flowing from,
it will.
You know, the president's disposition, right?
We want the party to remain cohesive.
And we didn't have time to go there because you talked about betrayal of trust, especially when you go to the National Assembly. But they say that we shouldn't, APC people that come on board, that come on this program, they don't like us to go there because they say that, look, work is going, frantic work is going on, or not so much frantic as serious work is going on behind the scenes. And perhaps that's where it should be going on.
Yeah.
And so if you journalists would just leave us alone and stop prodding and asking and saying, where are we? But thank you very much for coming on.
It's my pleasure.
Professor Tunde Samuel.
Thank you very much.
Recently retired as a professor of economics of education from LASU and APC chieftain. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
It's a pleasure.
Indeed.
Thank you.
So that's our program today. And tomorrow, a fresh edition with Eshomomo Imodu. I'm Yori Falani. Bye-bye for now.